Hey guys, welcome back to the Mad Swine Backyard Barbecue. We're in that backyard. I'm the Mad Pit Master Ruben. So today we continue the showdown between me and Weber Jumbo Joe. Got my you-know-what handed to me last time, but today I took that back. Don't go nowhere, because it went down, and you're going to want to see what happened. Check it out.
So I'm bringing out the 7-inch Shadow Black Series Dalstrong cleaver to see how it works trimming ribs. And these ribs I actually got from Costco. Had to go back, man. I knew I had to do this part 2, and this is what I found. I don't really like these 2 packs because you don't know what you're getting, but it is what it is. I couldn't find any other ribs at Walmart or anywhere else, so went to Costco. This is what they had, and this is what I grabbed. When you're cleaning these up, the more moisture you get off of them, the less slippery they are, the easier it is to cut. Just remember that. And I'm not trying to do a lot of trimming. I just want to clean these up, square them up, and that's about it. Hopefully they fit inside the Jumbo Joe. So that's basically what I'm doing. So the key thing for me is just to use the cutting board as a template on where to make my cuts. Once you get the bottom nice and lined up and straight, now you can cut at the top and make it parallel to the bottom. So that's what I'm doing here. This cleaver does a great job going through bone. Love it. All right, let's start talking about membrane. Remove it or leave it? Well, when it comes to spare ribs, which these are, we're just cutting it down to St. Louis style. Spare ribs, I think you need to take it off. They seem to have the most thickest, nastiest membrane in the rib family, and that's just in my opinion. So I mean, take the time, take it off, use a butter knife, use a paper towel, use some patience, but in the end, you're gonna want that membrane off. I do like to keep the strip of meat right here, so that's why I removed the membrane before cutting it off. All right, let's see what we got here. I think I'm good. Nice and squared up. Doesn't look too shabby. I'm gonna go ahead and call these ones done. St. Louis style ribs out of some spare ribs. And there you have it. Make sure before you get to cutting the next one, clean up that knife and make it sharp again. I will be dusting them both with SPG, but only one of them will be getting a rib rub. And I'm doing that to protect one just in case they burn again. Shout out to Ken from Heavy Metal Barbecue. Man, thanks for the suggestion. And that's the whole reason behind applying your barbecue sauces at the very end, because barbecue sauces contain sugar. So here's the cherry rub I'll be using on one of them. And believe it or not, I hate this stuff out the bottle. But for some reason, when this stuff is cooked on some ribs, it's delicious. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's true. Oh yeah. So to make sure these fit, I'm gonna prop them up on a piece of wood like this. So for this test, I will be using the snake method, and I'm stacking them 2 by 1. So it's 2 high and 1 single row next to that. And on top of the single row, I will be putting my wood chips. So I did conduct a test burn the day before this one, and in that one I used the snake method 2 by 2, and it was a half moon, and it was using half the circumference of that Weber, and I got about 7 hours and vents totally open, and the highest temperature I was getting was 350 degrees, and it took about 3 hours to get that, to get up to 350, and then it tapered it back down. So this time I removed one of those rolls, so it's 2 by 1. So let's see if that helps me or not. So right here I'm just checking to see how much coal was used in an hour to get this thing up to 200 degrees, and it looks like there's enough to get me to 4 to 5 hours. So I'm moving on. So I'm using this pizza pan on top of a makeshift gasket out of foil, and hopefully this helps. And man, look at them ribs. Oh yeah, they fit. All right, we're gonna see what happens. Just looking to make sure the temp gauge stem isn't touching the ribs. 1150, let's do it. So 2 hours later, I'm checking the temp. It's only at 210 degrees and I gotta find out what's going on in here. So I'm gonna dismantle this and I'm gonna see if I need to apply more charcoal, more coal to make sure that this has adequate amount of heat. So that's what you see me doing here. So I am gonna add another layer of briquettes and a longer tail on the snake so that I have more for a longer duration. I also have about 4 or 5 briquettes in the chimney already ashed over, already ready to go, so I can add more heat to this cook, because 200, staying at 200, 210, it's just not gonna do it. So hopefully this gets me across the finish line where I don't have to add any more or mess with this charcoal. Very happy to report that in those 3 hours, we hung and stood around 235 degrees, which is amazing. I did 0 adjustments to the vents. They have been wide open this whole cook. And this is basically what I want to learn about this Jumbo Joe. How much charcoal is even necessary in it before we have to do really much adjustments? I mean, I've been hanging with the vents wide open. That's not a lot of charcoal in there. And it looks like using the snake method is the way to go for now. And man, I can't stress and emphasize enough that this Jumbo Joe deserves its own respect. Now, that's where I went wrong beforehand. Treating it like a Weber Smoky Mountain just was not the way to go. You have to find out how this beast operates independently. And you know what? That's what's fun about this. So here they are. They're nicely wrapped, nice and tight. I didn't add any fluid into that wrap, and I'm just gonna let them finish from here on out. There you go. It's done. All right, we need to talk about this glaze real quick. This is one of the best glazes I've ever accidentally made and tasted in my entire life. So freaking good. So it starts with the 999 Swine apple cherry habanero glaze, which does not taste like that. And it's doctored up with a cherry rub, some ground red pepper, and black pepper. And man, you reduce it, and man, is it so freaking good. $6.15. Come back out here at 6:30. This is the little area that had that piece of wood. No big deal.
Small price to pay. Cutting through some bones. Oh yeah. Not too shabby. I don't see a crazy smoke ring or nothing, but it's pink in this area. Looks pretty juicy. I'm not squeezing nothing. Alright. It's a freaking nice color right here. Alright, how about I get a little bit of that? Wow. Alright, let's taste it. Not too smoky at all. Very subtle smoke. Wish it had a little bit more smoke. As for the SPG, I don't taste really much of it. But I mean, she's soft. Look at that. She's juicy. Just not very smoky and very flavorful as far as this one having just SPG, no glaze, no nothing. That's it. This was what I was waiting for right here. Holy crap. Oh man, this is the one. Come on, man. 2 racks on the Jumbo Joe. First time, Joe kicked my. This time, what's cracking, man? It don't get better than this.